Hello, are we back? Have we sorted out the noise?
Sounds better.
That
Yeah,
sounds
we're
good.
back.
Malcolm's there.
God, that
Lenny's there.
was so strange.
Hello.
Honestly, AGT, hearing your voice once is enough, but I just had to
Cheers.
hear it on repeat just then.
No, you love it really. No, you love it really. But just like Graham Potter's career at Chelsea, a failed start, but we got there in the end. Chelsea now in the quarter-final of the Champions League for the season. Great
Come
stuff.
on.
Great performance tonight. I've got to my up here, I've got Malcolm, big Chelsea fan, and then to his left, I've got Ellie as well. Another big Chelsea fan, both smiling, both happy tonight. Make sure that you're liking the video. Make sure you're commenting on the game. A very even game, I thought, to be honest. We'll get into the stats later. And, of course, subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't already. Right, Ellie, let's go to you. Ladies first. A great result, really, when you look at the quality of the opposition. These guys are fighting for Bundesliga. And a little bit of hope now for Potter, is it? Because, you know, I was there the night I think Tuchel got sacked. I was with you. And from that moment to now, it's been a roller coaster for Chelsea. But is there now a little bit of light in the end of the tunnel now for Graham Potter?
It's been a good 4 days, really, hasn't it? Like, waking up knowing that we've actually got 3 points on Sunday was unbelievable. And then just now knowing that there's actually something that we still have to fight for this season, I think that's just the best thing, because like I was speaking to Matisse as well the other day, and it was just like, oh, what is next? Like, if we go out of this now, like, season's just a write-off. I'm going to have to pick something else up to be interested in. And like now it just feels like, it's just such a good feeling. Like, I've missed the feeling of winning, and like winning important games as well. Like, obviously Leeds on Saturday was, you know, it was class to get a win, but again, it was a small game. I don't think like we took that many positives away from it. But today, like, watching how we played, I was like, that was just the best thing. Like, even if we'd come away, like, you know, just with one goal wouldn't have happened because we wouldn't have pens, but like I was just gassed with how we actually did play.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier it was an evenish game, 13 shots each, 4 shots on targets each. Malcolm, how close this one, and was 2-0 maybe a flattering scoreline in your eyes?
AGT, what can I say? We got it over the finish line, and that's all I care about. I was really impressed with a couple players tonight. Really impressed with Conor Gallagher. I was really, really impressed with Enzo. He is just a dog in that midfield. And I'm so excited to see him come a long way in this Chelsea squad, in this new regime, in this new squad, in this new build-up that we're doing. I'm so excited to see him carry on and really be our vocal point alongside with Kante. It's going to be awesome. But tonight, I don't care how we play tonight. We're Chelsea. We're at home at Stamford Bridge under the lights, and we got the job done. There's nothing more to say. We're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League after a poor run of games. And I don't want to overthink tonight. I don't want to put a downer on tonight. For me, as a Chelsea fan, I just want to say I'm proud of the team. The team done it. If I am going to pick out a couple of bad points for tonight, I think the substitutions were a concern for me. I don't know why we're bringing on Zakaria with 6 minutes to go, and we're bringing on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I feel like the change for Sterling could have been made at halftime a lot earlier on in the game. But AGT, what can I say, man? We've done it. We've got it across the line, and we're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Come on.
2-0, not quite 7-0, but I guess tonight.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm still on cloud 7, guys.
You're playing tomorrow, right?
Sorry?
You're playing tomorrow, right? You're playing tomorrow.
No, next Wednesday against Real Madrid.
Okay. Cool.
There's a chance, but listen, let's get back onto this one. Let's go through the game. A really good start for Chelsea. I think if you saw the traffic delays, there was a lot of fans trying to get into the stadium. There's so many Dortmund fans. I mean, if I'm honest, from what I saw on the TV, I couldn't hear a Chelsea fan. It was just Dortmund, maybe up until the last 10, 15, but incredible support that they brought. But it didn't start off well for them. Chelsea came out of the blocks fairly quickly. Dortmund grew into the game. But the goal from Sterling, you sense was coming, considering the miss from Havertz moments before. Massive goal for Sterling. I think it's his 25th in Champions League football now. And then the second goal. Ellie, how are you feeling when the ball was placed on the spot by Havertz and he missed, and then obviously he did get the other chance. But how are you feeling with that stuttered run up?
I was just looking at it thinking like how, like I actually, I'm not exactly a Champions League player myself, but like how have you missed that? Like he's done the whole like staggered start, see where the keeper's going. He knows he's going to his right, so all he needs to do is plant it like just to the right. There's so much net, and he's gone so far right. But we just love hitting the post, love hitting the crossbar at the moment. And also it just seemed to be like just our luck, didn't it? Like we'd had so many chances. And it was just like when it didn't go in, I like my heart sunk a little bit, but I was just like, oh, this is just another one to add to the list, to be honest. But then like when we got that second chance, I mean, that never happens. It just never happens.
Was it encroachment for you? Enough?
It was. I think the thing is, if that player that had encroached hadn't then been the one to clear the ball, it would have been slightly different, and I would have been like, really, is there any need for that? But the fact that he then went and did that, any chance that we had of a follow-up was minimised because of that specific player. So I actually do think it was a very good call by the ref amongst a load of calls that I wouldn't say were so good. But.
Very cool. When that second goal goes in, Malcolm, you go ahead in the tie for the first time. Havertz keeps his cool, does the exact same. Didn't change anything. Same run up, same side. A lot of mind games going on. I mean, to score in that pressure, I think, and doing the same tactic, he could have easily given the ball to someone else. Sterling could have taken it off him. I mean, Jorginho has normally done this for Chelsea in the last few years, but were you confident when he had the ball in his hand to take that second one again?
It's a love-hate relationship when it comes to Kai Havertz over the years. And for me, you've got to give it to Kai. He stepped up and he scored. Now, we've got a bit of luck there to be able to get a second try. But this is the thing with Chelsea. I think in the past couple of years, we've been quite reactionary to our reality of where we've been as a club. There hasn't been any stability over the past couple of years. And now we're in the past year, and now we're in a position where we need to just stick by our decisions. And so if he's the designated penalty taker, we stick by it. He's going to score some and miss some. Tonight we got lucky. We got a second attempt for him to score, and he did it. And for me, I'm a big fan of Kai Havertz. Not having the best run of form at the minute, but I do think there's still a player in there. He does ride his luck where he's got money in the bank for scoring that winning goal a couple of years ago against City in the final. But I'm still a fan of Kai. He scored, done the job, and I'm happy. Very happy with him. Thank you.
Yeah, you mentioned he scored in the final. You're now through to the quarterfinal. Ellie, looking at now through to the quarterfinal, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Come back when you've won six. But no, Ellie. Ellie, looking at you now in the quarterfinal. Listen, the league, I don't know how you feel about the league. For me, if I was a Chelsea fan, I mean, obviously try and put a run of games together, but it's going to be very difficult to finish in a position that you'd be over the moon with, be happy with, be content with. But in Europe, it's different. How far can Chelsea go now in this competition?
I don't really see why we can't go all the way. Like, we have shown that we are different in European football, and like that is our sort of bread and butter. We've done it before. I don't see why we can't do it again. And I think just the performance that we put out tonight shows that we have got the players and we have got the talent, and we can deliver when push comes to shove. And like, I think the thing is that we obviously had such a shit season that then this competition is really something that we can fight for. And I think that's what the players are going to be putting all of their energy into now. Well, I hope so anyway, because yeah, as you said, like the league's just not anything that we can talk about now, but this is something that actually we can go and get now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Graham Potter punch in the air, applauding the crowd as the team make their way off. Is there an argument to say, Malcolm, that if they can play like this and replicate tonight over the next few weeks, is there no reason why they can't climb up the Premier League now?
As Chelsea fans, we need to manage expectations and we need to strap ourselves for a bumpy ride. I don't see us going into the league and killing it and scoring 7 goals every single game. I don't see us playing sexy football. I see us playing quite gritty football and getting your 1-0s, your 2-0s, your 2-1s, because the team is a bloated squad and there are a group of players who are hungry to play and be in that number one position to play almost every game. Now, for me, in my opinion, AGT, the league's gone. We need to do a collateral damage and try and finish in the highest position possible. We need to, in my opinion, we need to finish anywhere above 7th, which is quite a big target to achieve. And we need to use the wins of the Premier League and go on a run of form in the Premier League to use that as momentum to put 110% effort into our Champions League games. Now, I don't want to get carried away here, so let's not get carried away. But in fantasy land, Chelsea winning the Champions League and coming 7th, for me, is a pretty decent season. Are we going to win the Champions League, in my opinion? I don't think we will. But what I do think is there are factors that have got in the way of that this season. We've got a new manager. We have a bloated squad, which is not a common thing to have. Usually it's the other thing of where teams have a depleted squad. And we've got a lot of players who are not even allowed to play in the Champions League, such as Aubameyang, who is probably on the bench, sort of not on the bench, but sitting at home saying to himself, I could be a goal poacher in the Champions League and I'm not involved. And I can imagine morale is up and down, but we have to be realistic here and we can't allow ourselves to paper over the cracks that we haven't had the best of form. But this is our opportunity now to forget winning the Premier League and focus on going on a nice run of form of winning games and putting the best that we can together with what we've got left of 2 pence, really.
I would just say on like the fact of like going back into the Premier League, the only thing I would say from tonight is that they did gift us a lot of chances and we had so many chances, and the fact that we only converted, well, one of them technically, because one of them was a penalty, says a lot about about our play at the moment. And going back into the Premier League, you can't expect those chances to be handed to you like that. Like that's just not what the league's about at all. So I think that's definitely a key area that we need to work on because, as I said, like the chances are there, but like when you've got them, go for it. It's like Chile, for example, that chance that he had in the first half, he should have put that away easily. Like we know what his talent's like with his left foot. The fact that that's not gone in, it's silly. It's silly little mistakes like that. Then when you get one chance, that needs to be the chance that it's put away, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of clinicalness needed. But I wanted to talk about Graham Potter now because a man admitted that he'd never actually been to a Champions League game before he became the manager of Chelsea. He's now managing a team in the last 8. He's now managing the first team to beat Borussia Dortmund since before the World Cup. They're on a 10-game winning run in all competitions. How does he come out of tonight? Does he get a little bit more respect? I mean, he's taken a lot of stick over the last few weeks, as we know, but I feel like there was a lot of togetherness tonight within that team.
I'm just going to come in here and say, AGT. So we have a Chelsea squad here who are 1-0 down on aggregate, who are at home at Stamford Bridge. And in my opinion here, I just feel that the pressure dropped off the players. It dropped off their shoulders. There's pressure on Potter to get the win and to get through to the next round. But there's almost like a case of we weren't expected to win tonight. I had no faith in this team doing anything.
Malcolm,
tonight.
are you frozen, by the way?
Oh, can you not?
It's just a really, really good mimist.
Did you? Was that on your screen as well, Al?
Yeah, he's frozen on mine.
Yeah.
Can you not see me?
How's he doing that? If you want to just jump out and then jump back in again, it should work. But in the meantime, Ellie, go for it. Answer that question that I just asked.
I think that it's definitely bought him another few weeks, 100%. I don't think when you beat Leeds that's something that he can stay in for. Like that's not something that's going to see him through to the end of the season. But the win tonight, I reckon he's got another month, another 3-4 weeks to prove himself, work with what we've got, get through the next game. Personally, I've never said Potter out. That's never come out of my mouth.
Really?
I was also obviously never Tuchel out, but no, it's never come out of my mouth, and I'm not Potter out. I want to see it through, and I think when you give someone time, they do start to prove themselves. And we've gone through so much change. Like the last thing I want is to have to go through another manager change, especially at this point in the season. So no, I definitely think we should give him more time after that.
Yeah, as I said, he'd never even been to a Champions League game before tonight, and
Well,
now
we
he's
said
managing a team.
I think we were on the same stream when we said that, and that is crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it? But to see him watching that second penalty, he literally couldn't look, and I completely get that, especially after the first. I don't know if he watched the first, but he like head down for the second, and I would 100% have been like that if I were there as well.
Yeah, Sterling's come out and said he thought about taking it the second time, but he was so confident in Kai to put it in the back of the net. So there was a discussion clearly about who should take the penalty. Kai Havertz, the gumption on the fella to take that ball and put it in the back of the net to send Chelsea into quarterfinals was brilliant, I think, and you have to give him some credit. Malcolm, you were talking, I basically said that Potter has become, he's living in dreamland. He's never even been to a Champions League game. Now he's managing a team in the quarterfinal, first team to beat Dortmund since before World Cup. Does he get a little bit respect now, or more respect on his name from yourself? And Ellie actually quoted 3 to 4 weeks. This buys him. Would you agree with that?
I wouldn't agree with that. It buys him 3 to 4 weeks. But I would say it buys him till
3
the
to
end
4
of the season.
days?
No. Well, in my book, 30 minutes. But anyway, that's besides the point. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. If I'm being realistic here, I think it buys until the end of the season.
Wow.
I do think the owners want to sit and wait and not be reactionary. We can't forget that Chelsea Football Club has been absolutely stripped of what it used to be. How we know it as fans, it's not how it is or how it's going to be going forward. And so what we can understand is that there is a board here who are a bunch of business people who are used to stocks going up and down all over the place. And so when it comes to risk, they know how to take risk really, really well. Us football fans, we want to see our team win every single match, every single game, and win every single trophy. But actually, I can imagine from the top, in that position, it's about regulating things and giving things a chance to be able to basically breathe. And we need to give Potter the chance to breathe. I don't like it, but we need to give him an opportunity to breathe. I think this does give him some money in the bank, buys him time, but we can't ignore that we are one of the biggest teams in Europe. We've won the Champions League twice in modern history or modern day. And our run in the past 17 games has been questionable. And we can't use this win tonight to paper over the cracks and say, oh, we're going to win the Champions League. Oh, we're the best team in the world. No, that's not the case. Things aren't working. Things are still not working. What's going to happen is what? We get through to the quarterfinals and then we lose and then we start saying Potter out? No. We have to be realistic by all the games that have gone by. We lost 1-0 to South, bottom of the table, Southampton. That is a worry for me. But yeah, in my opinion, I think he's got to the end of the season, and I don't think he'll be fired by the end of the season, but I think he'll be evaluated as to what he's done holistically, and I think a decision will be made going forward as to if he's the right man for next season.
Let us know in the comments
I
how long you think he's got, guys.
What?
I just said let us know in the comments how.
I don't think he's only got I just think this is like a solid, he can relax for a few weeks. I just said to HT, I don't want to see Potter out, and I think he's had talks. He's been calm in presses when he's been talked about oh, how long have you got left and stuff. I do think they've said to him, you've definitely got we'll see you through to the end of the season, but
yeah,
if just for his sake as well, he said, the pressure on him and his family, he definitely needs to step it up now following this. This needs to be our momentum to get back into everything. I don't think top 4 is at all realistic.
Nah,
in the slightest. But, actually looking like we are competing for something in the Premier League as well, not just giving up on that, and then giving this competition a real go, I think will just be...
Oh, light off.
Lights off.
Ooh,
Meters run out. Put another tenner in the meter.
SSE.
But
was
listen,
telling me to shut up. Ellie, you're done.
there you go. Yeah, let us know in the comments how long you think this win buys Graham Potter. I know people, or a lot of Chelsea fans who have been watching DR Sports recently, have not all of them, but a lot of them have been saying Potter out. Owen Hargreaves tonight saying on BT Sport that football is a roller coaster for Dortmund. They win 11 on the bounce, then get knocked out of the Champions League tonight. Is there a chance or an argument, both of you, to say that this is actually an upset tonight? I mean, we are looking at a mid-table team in Chelsea beating top of the table Bundesliga Dortmund. Could you say this is an upset tonight?
Yeah, I think we need to put respect on Borussia Dortmund's name. I think what Owen Hargreaves has to say is complete acts of rubbish, in my opinion. I think he's trying to minimise, really, the win that Chelsea have achieved tonight. Wasn't pretty, wasn't sexy, it wasn't prime Barcelona, it was, it was Chelsea. And right now, that's what we are. We get gritty, dirty wins like we've done against Leeds and tonight as well. And let's not minimise the win tonight. Big win tonight. Quarterfinals of the Champions League. We're through to the next round with a manager, in my opinion, who isn't the right guy, in my opinion. But we've got to give him a fair chance and let it breathe. And I think what Owen Hargreaves has to say, rubbish. Top of the table, Borussia Dortmund. Fantastic squad, young squad. Bellingham, Adeyemi. They've got experience of Marco Reus in there. I think, come on, let's not do that.
Ellie, what do you think about those quotes there? Is it a bit of an upset tonight? And was Dortmund maybe a little bit unlucky to go home by 2 goals to 0?
Well, I think it's just it's very different. Yeah, Dortmund have obviously had a great run of games recently, but we are Chelsea at the end of the day, and I know that we've had a few shockers, and we've had a shit season all in all, but we have got an unbelievable team, and I think Dortmund coming to Stamford Bridge thinking it was going to be an easy game, that was never going to happen. We were never going to let it be easy for them, and I do think we were the better team completely. I don't really see personally, based on how they performed today, I haven't watched, to be honest, any of their games, but I don't see how they are doing so well in Bundesliga when that's kind of the performance that they've been setting as a standard.
Savage. I think, to be fair to them, they are missing a lot of players tonight. Adeyemi, who scored in the first leg.
AGT, don't do that.
No, listen, Adeyemi, who you just mentioned, didn't even play tonight, bro, injured.
So?
But you were saying that he was a good player, but he wasn't there.
We have to beat what's in front of us, right?
Yeah, of course. I think, listen,
right,
Brandt goes off after 5 minutes as well. Definitely didn't help their cause. Well, listen. Yeah. Don't shoot the messenger. We
have to beat.
No,
I know, but we have to beat what's in front of us.
Of course, no, listen, and you get the respect. You get the respect for that tonight, for sure.
Thank you very much. Thank
you.
I do think him coming off so early on was definitely, a bit of a game changer for them, and it was an unlucky start for them. But one player doesn't make a whole team, and I do think all in all, their performance just wasn't anything on ours tonight.
Yeah, Moukoko also injured, and the goalkeeper as well. So there's about 4 or 5 big names out. I'm
we've
just
had
painting
so
their side
many
of the
players.
picture as well.
We've had Reece James out, we've had Ben Chilwell, we've got Kante out. We got so many players that have been out. We had Zakaria recently injured out. We've got Broya out as well. We've had to deal with so many injuries many injuries recently. And so, that's how football is, right?
Yeah, Ellie, you mentioned there one team doesn't make up a player. We were watching Jude Bellingham with a very keen eye tonight. What did you make of his performance? Booked for a tackle on his England teammate in Reece James, but listen, he can't carry the team every week, can he?
No, definitely can't carry the team every week. Like I said, one player doesn't make a team, but tonight specifically, obviously I was watching him, and I didn't really think he was. I'm trying to say this without being savage, but I just don't really see what was so good about him tonight. And I disagree. When I'm watching England, yeah, great. Obviously he's brilliant, but tonight I just didn't really I didn't jump on the Jude Bellingham train, to be honest.
Malcolm, what did you think of Jude's performance there? People in the comments saying he's overrated. How dare they?
I do. Sorry, AGT. Could you? I'm obviously I'm on live view, but could you confirm his age? I think he's 19. Is he 19 or 20
Jude Bellingham.
years old? Yes.
He's pretty sure he's 19.
I think he's 19.
He's 19. Yeah. He's
I
actually he's not even 20 for a good 3 months yet.
Right. Okay. So listen, I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you this, right? Bellingham in my squad, I'll take him. 19 years old, brother. I'm taking that guy. Tonight wasn't his best performance, but is he Messi? No, he's not. He's not Ronaldo, and so I don't expect him to be playing and killing every single game. Has he got promise? Has he got potential? Yes, he has. Have Chelsea won? Yes, we have. I'm not too bothered about the performance from one geezer. I wish him the best. I hope he goes on to win the Bundesliga. But tonight, in my book, I had zero faith in this team, and we won. And as Ali said, one player to me from the opposition side doesn't really matter to me.
There you go. First team in the quarterfinals, Chelsea. If you could pick, I know Benfica have also gone through tonight. They've beaten Bruges 7-1 on aggregate. And Scott Parker becomes the first English manager to concede 5 goals in the round of 16 in one game in the Champions League. Former Chelsea player, as you know. Looking forward, I mean, if Bayern win their game, it looks like it is a Bayern Munich rematch as it was in 2019-20 when they knocked you out under Frank Lampard. But confident about Bayern. I mean, obviously Benfica are there. We're looking at Madrid going through. Not unless Darwin Núñez has anything to say about it, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If we can score 7 against them sausages, then we can definitely score 4. Who else is still in? You've got the massive teams that are always in it, really, haven't you? So, apart from Barcelona, to be fair, but I mean, who do you want? Who can you beat? Who can this Chelsea team beat over 2 legs?
Ellie. Sorry. Yeah. No, Ellie.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'd probably like to play Benfica. I wouldn't mind. I don't think I'd mind that too much.
Shameless.
but I don't know. I think it's just I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I think I'd go for playing Benfica now, but just depends, doesn't it?
Listen, Benfica tough to play against. We did it last year. I think it was 6-5 on aggregate or something. So listen, still very good teams to play. You got RB Leipzig. Milan could go through tomorrow night, by the way, if they do the job on Tottenham.
Sorry, AGT, I just want to say this, right? I would love to play Benfica just to smack it in Rui Costa's face after the stress he gave us purchasing Enzo Fernandez. I would love to. I'd love to put it right in his face.
Sound like Kevin Keegan.
He'll be sinking in the pits of football hell, man.
Jesus.
Sinking. Yes. I'm upset. I'm upset about him. I don't like him. It's personal now. But I'd love to play against Benfica and smack them. And if it's not Benfica, I think there's something special about Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. From 2012, when we smacked them in their own backyard, I would love just to be a rematch. Maybe in the semi-final, just to make the stakes go higher, it'd make it sweeter, beating them. But we can't ignore that Bayern Munich are a different beast, a different animal compared to Borussia Dortmund. So, yeah, I think I'll stick on Benfica.
G Mac in the comments here saying Benfica would be favourites against Chelsea.
Okay. Right. Cool.
That's what G Mac says.
Okay.
Big up G Mac. Chelsea can win the Champions League, but Potter can't, saying Mr. X.
I agree with that.
Gunning you down, saying
I
Bayern
really
Munich.
don't like how you feel about Potter.
Listen. I think when you're a Chelsea fan and you're used to winning, and you're used to seeing your beloved Chelsea do so well and be contenders almost every single season, and seeing what they're going through now, where we've brought in a manager who hasn't won anything, who has been part of a club like Brighton where the pressure's low. It's not personal. It's when you're used to managers like Carlo Ancelotti, winner. Gus Hiddink, winner. Jose Mourinho, winner.
Conte.
No, we've been spoiled.
Winner.
Yeah, I completely agree.
When you compare that,
Frank Lampard. Oh no,
Ellie,
sorry.
no. When you, but actually, he's a winner. Actually, so I, listen. When you compare someone like Potter to Mikel Arteta came in, right, and he bought some money he got some money in the bank by winning the FA Cup, and I think fans eased off and gave him time. Potter's not winning a trophy with us. Let's be honest. He's not winning a trophy with us. He's not. He's not going to do it. He has no experience of being a winner. At least Mikel Arteta sat under Pep Guardiola, who is a seasoned winner, like serial seasoned winner. But what does Potter have? What does Potter have to show on a CV that I can be in this role? I can do this job.
I just think personally, with all the change that's happened at Chelsea, you need a manager that really gets behind the players, and he has fought for the players so much. He goes in front of the media week in, week out, supports the players. He's got, I can't remember exactly what his degree is, but say it all the time. He's got this psychological degree, really good at working.
He's got a HR. I think he's
psychological intelligence or something like that.
He's got human resources, the masters. He's got a human resources.
No, it's more than that. It's more than that.
And he's got like his office.
Emotional
on, like, the
intelligence.
floor.
Yeah, it's emotional intelligence or something like that. And I genuinely think with all the change that we've gone through as a club, the young players, he is something that you're going to eat your words when we do really well.
Listen, go get me Zidane. Go get me Poch. At least Poch has been to a final. At least Poch has had to deal with the big egos. At least Poch has been to a final of the Champions League. At least Poch has had to deal with the egos of a PSG dressing room. What has Potter had to deal with?
Malcolm, let me ask you this one. Kino7 in the chat. Both times Chelsea have won the Champions League, it was Buki settings, Di Matteo and Tuchel, so it's entirely impossible. Funny Chelsea fans don't see this. Potter is actually ideal.
Di Matteo was different. Di Matteo was different. Tuchel was premature. Sorry. We weren't playing the best towards the end of his tenure, but we should have stuck by Tuchel. I don't know why we got rid of Tuchel, but we got rid of him.
Yeah, that will never make sense, but it's happened, hasn't it? So
never make sense. Ever.
No, well, listen, we won it with Rafa Benitez. We came 5th in the league. Is what it is. But Chelsea boss Graham Potter tonight asked how he's feeling by BT Sport. He says, I'm not sure. There's a lot of emotion in the end. It was tense in the end, but the boys played fantastic. I'm delighted for them to get the win and great for everyone here.
Yeah. It's not personal of him. I think he's probably a lovely guy. He's probably a really nice geezer. And
he is a lovely guy.
Okay. And I think I'm being serious now. I think the threats on his family and the threats on it. Why do you laugh?
No, it's because you didn't need to say I'm being serious now. That just made me laugh.
No, sorry. The threats on his family and the threats on his family and the threats on him aren't okay. They're disgusting. But I don't think he's well suited for Chelsea. I think somewhere like a West Ham, he'd kill it at West Ham. He'd kill it at West Ham, or he'd kill it at like a. He'd kill it. Where else would he?
Well, listen, it doesn't matter where he would kill it. He's at Chelsea now, trying to win the Champions League. You got to get behind him, surely. It doesn't sound like you're very much behind him.
A Brentford, he'd kill it like a Brentford. You know?
Come on now.
But not Chelsea. Sorry, man. But not Chelsea. Would you take him if Jurgen didn't exist? Would you take Potter at Liverpool?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But that's irrelevant, and it wasn't the question. It wasn't the question.
Right, then. Yes,
the question was, are you not behind him? This man has led you to a quarter-final of the Champions League. Surely he deserves a little bit more respect.
Let's not do that, AGT. Come on, let's not do that.
What do you mean? Ellie knows what I mean.
And before tonight, what would you have said before tonight happened? Yeah,
he's done it tonight.
Everyone knows. I say it every time I get asked. I say I'm Potter in. I don't want a new manager right now. Genuinely. and I want to see him through. So I said the same last week, the week before, and after tonight, so I'll say it again.
Yeah, I'm not Pottering. I never have been Pottering from the start.
You
I've
don't
always
say.
and also another thing was I wasn't Potter. I was never Frank Lampard in either. From the very beginning, I knew that was going to go horribly wrong. And it's all about, for me, I think we are really not taking into consideration how important it is for someone to have the experience for the role of a manager of Chelsea. Like Frank Lampard, yes, one as a player, but as a coach, and it took him going to another position of Everton to show that he wasn't ready to do it at the top level. For Potter, it's different where he's got experience as a coach, but actually he hasn't won anything. Chelsea are a winning club.
Well,
We're
you know
not.
what?
We're not Southampton.
You say that he's not won anything. He won the IKEA Cup in Sweden, mate.
Oh gosh! Oh, you're loving this, AGT. Oh, stop it, man.
But listen, without joking, I think you have to give a lot of credit to both the players, that 11 on the pitch, the subs that came on, and to be able to turn that around. You were 1-0 down. Let's not forget, this isn't a, you could have won 1-0. You had to go through tonight. So I think he does deserve some respect. What did you make of the lack of Mudryk? Now, we saw the massive price tag above his name. Ellie didn't get on tonight, hasn't played really in the last few games. I know there's so many players. I know he needs to rotate. But is this a bit of a worrying sign for you that we're not really seeing him yet at all?
Yeah, I don't really know why, to be honest. Like, I did expect him to come on tonight, 100%. I expected him to come on Saturday as well. But yeah, he's just not getting played. And I don't know. What's the reason behind that? Have I missed something here?
Well, you tell me. I mean, I've not seen. I mean, I was at Anfield when he came on and made his debut, and he had a very good cameo. But since then, Malcolm,
I know since then a couple of games he was under the weather, wasn't well, but I think he seems back in fitness, so I don't really know why he's not being played.
Well, I can't answer that question. That's a question for Potter as to why he's not played. But what we can go off is the facts in front of us that, as Ali said, that he was feeling under the weather a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we can't forget that he did move, not in the summer, but in January. I don't have much opinion on Mudryk. I think there's a lot of promise in him. So I'd love to see Mudryk under a preseason, getting up to fitness properly and chilling with the lads and getting to know his surroundings and just the culture and just getting his feet under the table properly. I think when moves happen in January, I mean, come on, Chelsea made how many moves in January? That's a lot of players that have come through the door in January. And so I'm looking forward to this season being completed, done, and looking forward to next season. Listen, I may be not in favour of Potter, but I'll say this. I am open and I am happy to give Potter another season where he has a pre-season and has an opportunity to really go for it for all of next season. I have one season in me to give him, and that's it. Okay. If he goes and messes up next season the way that it's happened for him recently, then I'm done with him. Sorry.
Well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. A massive night for Chelsea. 2-0 winners in the end on the night. 2-1 on aggregate against Borussia Dortmund. They go through to the quarterfinals. Massive shout out to Malcolm. I believe, is that your DR Sports debut tonight?
DR Sports? No, I've been on DR Sports before, man. Been on the live streams. Well, the watch along, sorry.
My bad, bro. I just, it's been a pleasure to do one with you tonight. It's my debut with you tonight.
Nah, you just said, who are you, basically, innit?
No, I did not, bro.
just because you man won 7-0, you want to start saying who are you?
I'm not saying that at all, bro. I'm saying it's our debut together.
Emasculated man on the live. I see that,
man. No.
1-0 AGT, that's fine. 1-0, it's okay.
Aggregate. Second leg to come. Yeah, next
come
week.
On, baby.
Big up to Ellie. Great to see you again. Looking forward to having you both back on the channel very soon, hopefully in the studio this time. But
I'm actually in the studio tomorrow. Are you in? No,
I'm actually in Liverpool. But hopefully, again, see you both soon in the studio under those lights,
Right.
under the DR Sports lights, the famous
Cute.
European
Hot.
lights.
Oh,
Love
man.
to see it. Right.
Now, before you go, no, hold on,
Go on.
relax. Before you go, how do you feel about Real Madrid next week? How you feeling, mate? Come on.
Genuinely, and I'm not joking, the game against Man United has given me a lot of confidence, plus the fact that they haven't scored in 2 games, Real Madrid.
There we go, man.
But
Here we
listen, I
go.
can hear my dog crying at the door, so it's time for me to go. Big up to everyone in the chat who joined us. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to DR Sports. Go ahead and follow Malcolm, big Chelsea fan, as well as Ellie, a big Blue as well. So make sure you stay involved with DR Sports. Turn that notification bell on as well, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.